a community-driven plan to transform a declining area into a multi-use space for all ages. Franklin County Fire and EMS is recovering $47,000 from the Pipeline Emergency Response Grant. Now, the funding will be used for purchasing gas detectors and training responders. The grant aims to enhance preparedness for pipeline emergencies by ensuring early leak detection and safe response practices. A fire recently destroyed a building at the Troutville Training Center, which housed a backup 911 call center in Troutville. Surveillance footage captured smoke filling the room on September 26 before flames consumed that building. Despite the damage, staff managed to clean up and salvage critical equipment to set up a temporary backup call center promptly. The incident in Pontotoc County highlighted the importance of having a backup system ready for emergency dispatch operations in case of unforeseen events. And that's your news update from the Virginia Talk Radio Network. I'm Bill Trefiro.
You're listening to WVGM AM and FM Lynchburg, now powered by ESPN Radio.
Good morning. Time to get ready for your day with the morning warm-up with Trey Lyle. Join us live on VTRN Sports 93.3 FM or the VTRN Sports app. Open VTRN Sports on your smart speaker or stream live on YouTube. Time to get ready for your day with the morning warm-up with Trey Lyle and Ty Tracy.
.703 on this glorious Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Not November. Wow. Where I already added a month. October 3rd. Welcome to the morning warm up. I'm Trey Lyle. Ty Tracy. Luke is here. Luke, are you ready to have fun today?
I'm ready.
Dealing with technical issues at the start of the show is always a good thing. So just excited to have a fun show for us this morning. And let's get to it with In Case You Missed It.
Keeping up with sports 24/7 takes some serious effort, especially when you're sleeping. Don't worry, the morning warm-up stays alert around the clock. Now here is everything you missed last night.
All right, let's start with some health updates for the Washington Commanders as well as Virginia and Virginia Tech heading into their games this weekend, starting in the National Football League. Injury updates, like we said yesterday, it appears that Jane Daniels will play this Sunday in a game you can catch on VTRN Sports, but we will be without two of his targets as both Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown have been ruled out for this Sunday, while Deebo Samuel did not practice the last 2 days, is listed as questionable. By the way, we mentioned Sam Cosmi, 21-day practice window was open yesterday. He's been ruled out, but that's not shocking. Probably expect him. Well, that's late on Tuesday. They typically open it as soon as they can, and they don't show up to the end of the window, so it might be 2 more weeks without Sam Cosmi, but it could be next week as well for the game against the Chargers. As for the student availability, couple notes. Robbie Ashford, the quarterback for Wake Forest, is probable. So is Damon Claiborne, their star running back. So both banged up, but both appear to be playing in this one. As for Virginia Tech, Christian Ellis, questionable. So is Kalen Adams, Sherrod Koval, Christian Ellis, Samarius Perkton, and Brody Jones, probable, or Devon Green and Jaden Muskrat. out. Still a long list. Most notably, Gabe Williams is out. Quentin Reddish is out. Caleb Woodson is out. Brody Meadows is out. A couple of these guys are out for the season anyways. But another long list for the Hokies. Now to the Wahoos. They have just 2 probables, and the rest are out. Daniel Sparks, the punter, and Eli Woods, both probable, while you have Dre Walker, Andre Green, Jamerick Morris, Jam Jackson, Tristan Ward, Noah Vaughn, Davis Lane, Armstrong Jones, Wallace Umbaga, Malik and Thomas. I mean, still the injuries that UVA has dealt with and the fact they are 4-1 is still impressive. Notes, Isaac Brown, the star running back for Louisville, is probable. So it appears he will play, but that is a note that you want to keep in mind now that he is he's a little banged up in this one. Just keep that in your back of the mind as we go through that. So then, of course, something that could affect the Commanders is the John Gruden case. We've talked about this, and an update on that. Obviously, from the Daniel Snyder end, where Gruden's emails got leaked is kind of where how the Commanders are involved in this. And the Nevada Supreme Court on Thursday unanimously rejected the NFL's petition seeking a rehearing of an August decision that allows John Gruden to go through discovery. So just keep that in mind. I mean, I don't think anything damning on this current ownership group will happen because they weren't the ownership group in this case, but this will be part of, obviously, I would not be shocked if good old Daniel Snyder has to testify or Bruce Allen has to testify, the former Washington president, during this case. And it's just something to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this, is that case is going to affect the previous generation of Commanders ownership. Baseball scores from last night. Shout to the GOAT, Cam Schlittler. Shout out to Bryson Gordon. Yankees 4, Red Sox nothing. Cam Schlittler, for not only first rookie ever, first pitcher ever to go 8+ innings with 12 strikeouts and no walks. Looking at it now.
Wait, is that just in general or just in the postseason?
In the postseason. Okay. In the postseason. Postseason start. And that was his first. Tigers defeat the Guardians 6-3, and the Cubs defeat the Padres 3-1. Another great stat about the Yankees is the Yankees are the first team since they went to this format, 15-1, that if you win game 1, you'll win the series because it's the best of 3. The Yankees are the first time to lose game 1 and come back and win the series. So take that, Bryson. All right. So let's get to some fun stuff. So we got picks later on. Sam, unfortunately, not going to join us this week. He's not a little bit under the weather. So told him, please do not risk yourself by coming on and talking. He might have lost his voice. So we're not going to do that there as well. Do want to give an injury update about the Panthers. I know we probably have some Panthers fans listening. It appears that Chuba Hubbard will not play, the star running back for the Panthers, in their game against the Dolphins with a calf injury. So another note as we head into the football week. And obviously, a lot of high school teams are on a bye. Most high school teams in the area are on a bye, except Heritage is not on a bye. No, they are. We looked that up yesterday. They are? Let me double check. I was pretty sure. They could be. Oh, they are playing. Yeah, you're right. They're playing Thomas Jefferson. We're thinking of Brookville. Brookville's on a bye. GF's on a bye. EC Glass is on a bye. So, but anyway, let's get to it with Today in Sports History. Are you ready? Are you ready, Luke, for redemption?
Ready as I can be. I'm always ready for redemption.
Tyrod waiting. Tyrod scrambling. Back at the 20. Fires. End zone. It is caught for the touchdown by Roberts. It's a miracle in Blacksburg. Tyrod did it, Mikey. Tyrod did it.
It's time for Today in Sports History.
Play action. Salter to throw back to the left, and it's caught in the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Bentley Henshaw.
From ruin to redemption, the Virginia Cavaliers are the 2019 NCAA National Champions.
let's hear what Ty really knows about what happened on this day in sports history.
All right, Luke, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Reminder, if you don't know, when we do Friday, I get to do Friday and Saturday. 'Cause I like to cheat. No, I don't like to cheat.
Well, if we don't, then Saturday and like the 4th and the 5th this week will be left in the
Well,
dust.
we've missed a couple of games already, so yeah, it's my show. I can do what I want. That is a good point, Ty. All right. On this date in 1974, future basketball Hall of Famer guard retires after 14 NBA seasons with the Lakers. His nickname was Mr. Clutch. He became a really good executive.
Magic.
1974. Wrong.
Jerry West.
There you go. You got the
Yeah,
other.
I thought it was too late for Jerry West, but I guess
No.
not.
You needed the other.
That was my original thought, but then said Magic.
You needed the other Lakers point guard. All right, shout out to Philip Doss for this one. 1976, future baseball Hall of Famer right fielder. This man singles in his last Major League Baseball at bat and drives in his 2,297th run as the Brewers lost to the Tigers 5-2.
I forget his name.
God, these
Hey,
kids.
We say him like every other day, but I just brain farted. What is it? What is
It's
his name?
Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. There we go.
Shout out to Philip. All right. I could do on this date, 1995. OJ was found not guilty. That is true. Didn't want to give you that one. So now this affects Washington. On this date in 2009, this man had 3 interceptions for the Bucks in a 16-13 loss to Washington.
I have no clue. Drew Bledsoe.
Well, it's a man who gets intercepted. That's a quarterback. This would be.
Oh, this is a defensive back. I thought you
Yes.
said he threw 3. Okay.
I think Bledsoe was still in the league in 2009. I'm not sure.
A DB, the Bucks, in 2009. Yeah, I have no clue.
He may or may not have stolen someone's chain at one point. Aqib Talib.
Oh, really? He's old then, dang.
So,
I feel like, yeah, he was on like Manning's 2015, whatever year that was, 2013.
Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving to Saturday now. Because I can mention how Tom Brady became the all-time passing leader on this date. On this date, in 1987, the NFL continued its regular season with these while this was going on.
With these?
With these while this was going on. There's a movie. There's a movie out there that sort of plays off of this. That's underrated football movie. Possibly, but I'm not talking. There's like it's a nonfiction movie. It stars Keanu Reeves.
I don't even know the concept of what we're going at here. While the MLB postseason was going on.
No, they continued the regular season with replacement players while the players were on strike.
While the lockdown.
And that's based off. There's a movie called The Replacements, which the same thing happens, starring Keanu Reeves. So, it's a good movie. All right. On this date, in 2015, this man makes a 27-yard field goal in overtime to lift the Colts past the Jacksonville Jaguars. He becomes the first player in NFL history to score at least 1,000 points with 2 different teams.
Adam Vinatieri.
That is correct. All right, so we're 2-2? All right, you better get this one right. On this date in 2022, New York Yankees slugger breaks Roger Maris's AL single-season home run record with his 62nd home run in a 3-2 loss to the Rangers at Globe Life Field.
Yankees slugger in 2002.
2022.
Oh, 2022. Oh, Aaron Judge.
There we go. I was going to say, if you didn't get
I was
that
like,
right.
I can't think of a really good hitter for the Yankees in 2002. I think I was probably guess Jeter, but he's not even a slugger.
They had Jeter, Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada. They didn't have A-Rod yet, but all right. So 3-2. He is 30-30 heading into the next week. That's pretty good. That is pretty good here. So, all right, when we come back, we're going to be talking NASCAR with Dalton Hopkins in about 3 minutes from now. So, Dalton Hopkins talking NASCAR next on the morning warm up.
Is it time for a new place to call home? Moving out on your own? Perhaps your existing lease is up for renewal. Looking for a new roommate? Or maybe you just need a change of scenery. Then you need to check out brownstoneproperties.com. We have Central Virginia's largest selection of apartments, townhomes, and single-family homes. Applying is easy with our online application. Visit us online to begin your search at brownstoneproperties.com.
Your home is more than just walls and windows. It's where life happens. And at Right Choice Construction, we get that. We're not just builders. We're fathers, mothers, neighbors, just like you. And every nail and every beam reflects our commitment to creating a place you're proud to live in. With Right Choice Construction, you're choosing a team that's been perfecting the art of building for years. So build with us, build with experience, build with quality, build with Right Choice.
VTR in Sports, powered by ESPN Radio. The games play here. A full slate of college football for you. Starting Friday night with West Virginia at BYU, with coverage starting at 10 p.m. Then Saturday, a doubleheader. Starting off with the Hokies. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. as they host Wake Forest. Then Texas at Florida. Catch all the games on VCR in Sports, 93.3 FM, 1320 AM, the VTR in Sports app, and ask your smart speaker, open VTR in Sports. Just like the leaves this fall, the deals at Insane Radio Deals are falling fast and saving you a bunch of money. Whether it's gift cards to great food like the Yard on 5th Street, JD's Cafe, the Caribbean Jerk Pot, or Donnie D's Bagels. Or great experiences like Aqua Trek Adventures, Rise Up Climbing, or Cross White Athletic Club. Liberty Flame fan? Well, we have tickets to any Liberty home game the rest of this season, as well as memberships to a Sea of Red. Falling deals and saving money. All at InsaneRadioDeals.com.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected with the show at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app, or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
720 just flipped as soon as we did that right here on the morning warm-up. I'm Trey Lyle, intern Luke, Ty Tracy here as well. Welcome back. Joining me now is a man who just happens to be one of the best when it comes to covering NASCAR. My good friend of the show. I feel like I can call him that at this point. At Pit Lane CPT. Dalton Hopkins, good morning, man. I appreciate the time this morning. Let's dive right in to the racing, starting with this past weekend at Kansas. Let's revisit that final lap. If you had to scale from 1 to 10, like 10 being the worst bag fumble possible, 1 being it's okay, how bad of a bag did Toyota fumble on those last 2 laps, allowing a Chevrolet to win that race at Kansas?
How bad of a bag? If they had like a bag of like lead, like heavy lead, about like, let's say like a grocery store bag's worth, and they just kind of like flung it off a cliff, that's probably as bad as you can imagine. I don't really know if the weight matters, but
bag is also like money. So like if you think they had like $100 to win for 2 laps to go, the end was $0.
Okay. If they had a bag, I don't know how much is what is the equivalent to a bag full of lead rocks? I don't know. Let's say $100,000. I don't know how much does
Well,
5 cup cars cost? How
you
much
could
does a
argue
championship
2311
cost?
had a couple million with 2 laps to go, and
You're
then
not wrong.
their owner.
You're not wrong. That's a very good point. That is a very, very good point, Trey. Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's talk about that dynamic. This is, I feel like, the first time really we had I don't want to say controversial ending, but a heated ending between Denny Hamlin and one of his drivers. Now, I personally think what Denny did was just going for the win, but he did make a mistake. Ultimately, what do you think of this unique moment where this is the first time where ownership of the 11 truly has a big conflict of interest with driver of the 11, or
Yeah, I
owner of
think
the 23 has conflict of interest with the
right.
driver of the 11?
Yeah, I think it was inevitable, right? I think anytime a driver starts, it's a very rare occurrence where a driver starts a team, and then they compete against said team, at the same time that they're racing in the same series. Very rare occurrence. I really can't think of another time that's happened other than like Dale Earnhardt with DEI, and that only happened for a very small amount of time. But it's inevitable, right? Like at some point, you're going to get a chance where that driver is going to have to compete against one of his own employees for a race win. And I think when it comes to this point, look, I agree. It was for the race win. I do believe that Denny should go for the race win, and I agree to an extent of when he says, I'm a driver. I'm a driver first on Sundays. I need to do whatever I can to win for my team. For his Joe Gibbs team. What would Joe Gibbs think? Blah, 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 blah. I agree with that to an extent. However, I draw the line of when you have a broken race car and you don't have power steering, and then you send it into the corner down the middle, in the middle lane, knowing that your driver is above you. And I know he said, I didn't know where he was. I call crap, because where else would he be? You were on the inside. He's going to be on the outside. Where else is he going to go? And then you lean on him in that corner and you miss the corner. Like there's a difference between racing for the win and then racing for the win dirty. I don't know if that you could call that dirty, but maybe it was just like not smart. And Denny wanted to win. And he even said it himself. He saw 60 wins in front of him. He saw win number 60 right in front of him, and he just wanted it. He didn't care how he got it. So you have to look out for, as a team owner, I agree, you have to look out for your pit crew, you have to look out for your Joe Gibbs team. However, you have hundreds and hundreds of employees at 2311 Racing that are counting on you, are counting on your drivers as well to win. And all those employees don't even know if they'll be employed next year. So, and you basically just pretty much just took them out entirely of the championship, because I don't see them making their way back from the Roval.
You look at this, and we're talking with Dalton Hopkins at Pit Lane CPT on Twitter from frontstretch.com. My good old colleague and pal. This dynamic, do you think you were there at Kansas, do you think the power steering issue played a part in that? Maybe that he wasn't able to execute the turn exactly like he wanted, and he wasn't able to, get the exact grip. And we're not even, and the second part is, now we're not even talking about the guy who won the race in Chase Elliott, where I think it calms the noise around Alan Gustin. I mean, every week on the watch party, we make Alan Gustin jokes because we as Mike Neff and I, who mainly do it, feel like Alan gets a bad rap for no reason. But ultimately, it feels like this win changed the complete dynamic of the playoffs to some degree, where Toyota has been dominating, Chevrolet has been bad, and Chevrolet kind of steals one. They have a lot of momentum heading, not just the 19, but the manufacturer has a lot of momentum going to the Roval.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the first part of that, like for Bubba Wall, or excuse me, for Denny Hamlin at least, yeah, I think power steering played a huge issue. And Denny even said to me after the race, and you can check it out on my company's YouTube page on frontstretch.com's YouTube page, but he said that, yeah, I wish I had went lower into the corner. I wish I had entered it a little bit lower than where I was. And then he goes on to his own radio, to his podcast, and he says, "Oh, well, I didn't know where he was." I've already said my piece about that. When it comes to Chase Elliott, Chevrolet, and Toyota, that dynamic in the playoffs. Look, I have never been one to say, even in the first 3 weeks, I never was one to say, "Oh, Toyota's the championship favorite. These guys are on fire. These guys they're gonna be all in the Final Four. It's gonna be Toyotas all the way." And I really was one to say that because it's so early. It's still early in the playoffs. I mean, we're only in race number 6 now. We just got to halfway, and I still think the Penske cars are gonna be the ones to beat at Phoenix. I think Blaney's gonna make the Final Four, and if I was to place bets, which I don't, I'd probably put on that 12 car. So I don't think Toyota. I think Toyota looks great. I think they'll be fine at the Roval, but I do think that, and I think Chevrolet. I think it'll be a Chevrolet that wins at the Roval anyway. It won't be a Hendrick car. It won't be an RCR car. It'll be a Trackhouse Racing car. It'll be the 88 car that wins at the Roval. But at the end, I think Ford's going to win the championship again.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, are we delaying the inevitable with a Penske win of the championship? It feels like that's how I feel about this with the 12 team. I feel like there was just delaying the inevitable. It's going to be the 12. I mean, the 2 is technically still alive, and I think there's an outside chance that Cindric wins at the Roval. He's a decent road course racer, so who knows? But we'll move past that and look big picture again. It seems like the bigger story these last 2 weeks has been the entire format change when it comes to NASCAR. It appears there is momentum to a full 36-week format, whatever you want to call it, the full season format, or maybe a one championship round format where it's like 4 races with 6 guys. Ultimately, where do you think NASCAR settles on this next format for next season? And if they do go to the 36 format, is it more of just like proving to the fans that this might not be the best television product?
I think the fans, look, now it wouldn't be the first time that NASCAR's changed the format. So NASCAR has already told the fans that if they run that risk, NASCAR has already said like, "Hey, we know we can't make the best format right off the bat," and they've changed it 3 times now. So that's run its course. I don't think NASCAR should be afraid to make a change because of that, especially now after we've had this format for 8 years. Now, when it comes to which format are they going to change it to, it's really tough to say. And unfortunately, to all the classic lovers out there, I don't think they're going to do a 36 race format. I think so. What I've heard from multiple people is that they have, I think it's about 4 or 5 formats kind of like floating around. They're like kind of picking and choosing which one. I don't think a 36 race one is going to be the change to that. It's too drastic. It's too much of a change from what they're used to. And then the 26 or the 26 race, and then you go into a 10 race playoff system with the chase. I think that is a much more suitable thing for what they're going for. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what I think one could guarantee, like 95% chance of happening, we are not going to see a 1 race finale next year. I think it, like you mentioned, maybe a 4 race or 3 race championship finale. Jordan Bianchi leaked a few weeks ago that, maybe considering, or hinted, I should say, they're considering maybe a 4 race championship finale, which I think is much more suitable for the way it should be run. So you kind of get a happy medium of what everyone wants. You get the playoffs, which some people still like, and then you have a much more legitimate way of actually crowning the champion rather than just one race at Phoenix or Miami to decide everything between 4 drivers.
Yeah, ultimately, we'll see how it shakes out. It seems that change is needed, especially because it feels like after New Hampshire, everyone feels like, oh no, we're gonna have a Penske win at Phoenix again. Even Chris
Mhm.
Gabehart said that post race.
Mhm.
It felt like it felt inevitable. But speaking of the playoffs and the current format we have to deal with, the cut line feels a little sort of uneventful. The gap is 13 between Ross Chastain and Joey Logano, and that is the only one that can make up in points. Do you sense that unless there is chaos, which can happen at the Roval, this might be a very uneventful cut line just because we kind of know who's going to win the race, or at least the guy who might dominate the race, which he's not going to go for the stage win, he's going to go for the win, so it might be different in SVG, but it seems that we might have an uneventful cut line because of multiple factors, including the guy that we assume is going to dominate the race is not in the playoffs.
It's a really good point that got brought up last week, which was, and this is a good point that you're bringing up right now with SVG, because a lot of those guys that were below the cut line last week, it was like, hey, you guys kind of need to get your together, like get your stuff together this week, because if you don't, SVG is going to win the race. Like anybody who's in a must-win situation at Charlotte is in a bad situation because they're not going to be able to beat the 88. And to your point, yeah, here we are, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be an uneventful round of 12 finale. And I actually looked. I think I saw a stat yesterday, and I think there's only been like 2 times, in the round of 12 since 2017. There's only been 2 times that somebody has come from below the cut line going into the final race of the round of 12 to actually make their way into the round of 8. If that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but like there's only been 2 times where that has not happened. And I think the last time was 21, and then before that was 2018. I could be a little bit off, but point being is that it doesn't happen very often. We usually see a pretty tough fight at the end of the round of 12, and I don't think we're going to get that here because realistically, look, can Ross Chastain, he's obviously the best chance because can he overtake Joey Logano? Sure, Joey Logano misses a corner with 3 laps to go or something like that and loses 10 spots, and Ross Chastain, maybe he's gained a bit. Maybe he's ran a lot better all of a sudden. Maybe he's ran a lot better. He's been running in the top 10. He finishes like a cool 9th or something. There's a chance there. Bubba Wallace, he's been improving on the road courses this year. I'm looking back. Let me do the math right now. 20. Okay, so he's he's 26 points back. So he's gonna need a little bit more than just a nice race. But I think Ross is obviously the best choice or the best chance to actually do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. But considering anybody below him who are basically in must wins, like Wallace, who's kind of in one, Reddick, Cindric, SOL.
So ultimately, for the most chaos scenario, we need someone to take out SVG like 2 laps in, essentially.
I think you need somebody to take out not only that, but you need somebody to take out SVG, and then you need like the rest of the field to crash in front of Cindric if you want him to win. Reddick's a good road racer, though. He's pretty good at the Roval.
It feels like just because this is not like a typical road course. This is the one that maybe like the rest of the field, and it's weird to say. I still think SVG dominates, but like, there is a guy in the field that theoretically owns this track in another series, which is AJ Allmendinger. I think he's undefeated, if I'm not mistaken, in the Xfinity Series at the Roval. He's won there in the Cup Series. Obviously, he's been a step below what we expected in the road courses this year, but it feels like if there's any road course in the NASCAR schedule, the one that has the most oval elements is the one that's going to hurt SVG the most.
I think there is some point there. You could argue this is probably his weakest road course, which is kind of weird to say. I think maybe Coda takes that a little bit more, but look, I mean, he still ran really well last year, even when he did the one-off Cup race when he was part-time in Cup, and still did really well last year. Still was in contention to win that race. And I think it's very safe to say, as scary as it sounds, is that he's actually gotten better over the course of this series. He's gotten used to this car, not just on the road courses, but on the ovals as well. And now we're at the very end of the year where all that culminates. I think there is legitimate reason to sit there and say that he's still going to be a threat this week. I mean, everyone already kind of knew that, but more of a threat than he has been in recent years at the Roval. But there is a point there. I mean, this is probably his weakest road course. Yes, it is technically an oval hybrid. I don't really know how much you could factor that in, considering the turns or the bankings are basically just straightaways. They don't really. It's not like they can manipulate it in any way or use a different lane. They can basically just go flat out because they have such a low speed coming off the hairpin turns. But I digress. I mean, there is still some kind of element here where SVG is not really used to this track.
He has raced in the Daytona 24 hours, so we should mention that. Like, he has done this style before. So I will mention that. Ultimately, Dalton, final question, and you've already hinted at this. But I will ask you another way forward. If Joey Logano wins his 4th championship at Phoenix,
oh man,
will NASCAR Twitter burn? I
think I saw a like a nightmare scenario on Twitter where it was like, think about it. I think it was like Denny Hamlin is leading with 4 laps to go. Yeah, you've seen it where like Denny Hamlin is leading with like 4 laps to go. He's winning. He's gonna win the championship, and then Ty Gibbs spins or something, and he causes a final restart, an overtime restart caution, a caution with an overtime restart, and Joey Logano beats him on the restart and wins his 4th championship. I think there would be riots outside of the IMC building here in Daytona. I think they would burn that building to the ground. Nightmare scenario. You know what I'm actually more scared of, Trey, is the lower series where if Corey Heim nor Connor Zilisch win their championships, you can't. What do you do? Like, what do you do at that point? You can't possibly
legitimately
justify this.
2 of the most dominant seats. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Connor Zilisch basically the last time he did not finish in the top 5 in the Xfinity race was a race where he was not in the race.
Yeah. Yes.
Because of the back injury.
I think it was Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That scary years for both of them. And I think, I don't know if you could say Denny Hamlin is like the most worthy of a championship this year, but you can't really say it's Joey Logano either. I think there's an argument for Ryan Blaney, but you can't really say it's Joey Logano. And if he gets a fourth one, if he wins, if he does make the round of 12 this weekend, I think everyone's going to be like, oh no, here we go again.
Well, buddy, I appreciate the time this morning at Pit Lane CPT. Dalton Hopkins, frontstretch.com, joined us. Appreciate the time this morning, and we'll talk again soon.
Absolutely, Trey. It's a pleasure as always. Thank you.
When we come back, Dalton is a big Florida Gators fan. We'll pick that game because we are airing it this week on VTRN Sports, plus all the local games and much more next on the morning warm-up.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos.
A winning sports team doesn't use the same game plan for every opponent. The same is true for your personal injury case. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. Since 1982, our strategy starts with a team meeting between you and our team. We'll learn about your case and craft a custom game plan. Then we'll fight for you every step of the way to get a winning outcome. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, we're one phone call away at 777-HURT or trostlaw.com.
Feel the excitement, experience the intensity. Castle Coliseum comes alive when Hokie basketball takes the court.
He made it on 1 foot. Lead, it's down.
From buzzer beaters to hard-fought battles, Virginia Tech men's and women's basketball takes on the toughest teams in the ACC.
Up and in. Here come the Hokies. Castle erupts.
Don't just hear about it, be there. Tickets on sale now at Hokiesports.com.
Will the Amherst County Lancers pull off an upset at Sabre Stadium after coming oh so close in 2024? Find out Friday, October 10th on Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show begins at 6:30 on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF Football is also presented by Crossroads Family Dentistry, Forest Youth Athletic Association, Meineke Car Care, and the Andy Matthews Insurance Agency.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected with the show at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
7:42 on this Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Welcome back to the morning warm-up. I'm Trey Lyle. That's intern Luke. Ty, you ready to do this? And he gives me a thumbs up. Time to give out our picks for the picks. Unfortunately, Sam Jesse, not feeling a little under the weather, may or may not have lost his voice. So I told him to bow out of this. Please do not. You don't need to feel any worse. So not with us this morning, but I do have his picks. And I do want to update the records because boy, oh boy, did some of y'all have a bad week. Sam went 4-7, was 18-20, went 4-7, now it's 22-27. Ty, you were 19-19. You went 2-9. And now we're 21-28. So your boy was 17-21 coming in. Nice 7-4 week for me. The NFL carried me. I will admit that. NFL carried me there. I think I went 4-1 in our NFL or 3-1 in our NFL picks. So, but 7-4. I'm now 24-25. I'm in first place. And intern Luke went 2-9 and is 18-29 on the year.
That's gross.
So I am now in first place. Sam is second. Ty, you're third. And then Luke, you're behind. So let's get into this. All right. So first game we're going to pick is UVA taking on Louisville. Virginia, 6.5-point underdog on the road at the former Big Papa John's. I don't even know the name of the new place. But yeah, it used to be called Papa John Stadium. And then, he said some things, got caught saying some things, and then they removed his name. But anyways, Luke, you can go first here. What's your pick?
I'm taking UVA though. I think they'll keep it close by like a game-winning field goal. It'll be close. I think UVA can cover.
Ty?
I'm going with Louisville, of course. I think it's going to be a 2-touchdown game. So.
Yeah, I'm playing off the like you're going, you get the high, like it's a natural letdown spot, even though you're the underdog, just because you're on the road, you're at Louisville against a really good offense, an offense that is starting to figure it out. I think they figured it out in the second half against Pitt. Sam is also taking Louisville in that one, so you're on an island, Luke. All right, moving to our next game, Georgia State taking on James Madison University. I think JMU's on a mission. JMU needs style points, so they're going to be blowing out teams. So I got JMU here, winning by 3 touchdowns. Sam also has JMU here.
Yeah, I got JMU because I think they lost to Georgia State last year, right? It was like a crazy upset.
Yes,
yeah,
I think so.
I'm going with JMU on this one.
Give me Georgia State.
All right. I like, you know what? Luke's trying to make up some games, so he's just going to go against all of us.
That's on him.
I mean, he can do it.
Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures.
He either is going to have a really good record after this or a really bad record. Hey, you know what? It can't get much worse. I mean, the difference between being, the Rockies and 20 games back and the Mets who are like 2 games back at this point is nothing. So that's what he's thinking here. So, all right. The first game you can hear on our doubleheader. We'll also have some playoff games on Saturday, by the way, after our college football. Do you want to shout that out? Playoffs, some baseball playoff games, some divisional series games. But first, we'll have Virginia Tech taking on Wake Forest, 11 a.m. on VTRN Sports. Hokies, 6.5-point favorites. Now, I really want to take Virginia Tech, and I think Wake Forest is not a good football team.
I think just injuries is really kind of giving me concern about both teams.
Yes. Robbie Ashford's banged up. Sam is taking the Hokies in this one. I'm going to take Wake to cover, and I hate it. And it's more of like this can go in like 6 different outcomes, so might as well take Wake Forest and just see. So I have Wake in this one. Sam's got Virginia Tech. Who do you got, Ty?
Oh, man. Like I said, it's just the injuries have got to be concerned. I'm going to lean towards Wake Forest on this one. I just feel like, I don't think they're a bad team. They really are a sneaky good team if they play good and everything, but.
Wait a minute. Time out. Let's just go over what you just said.
Yeah.
You said they are a sneaky good team if they play good.
Yeah, if they play good.
So that's every team. If every team
not every team now.
Every team is sneaky good if they play good.
That's different and everything. But Wake Forest, if you pay attention, you're like, okay, this is actually a pretty good solid team.
I think they're well coached.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have the talent necessarily there yet.
Yeah, but I just feel like this is I think they can sneak by this.
I think Jake Dickert's a really good football coach. Like the fact they went toe to toe. Granted, this is what Georgia Tech does. They play to their opponent. I think they're like 7-1 against ranked opponents and like 8-8 against unranked opponents under Brent Key, which is insane. And really, they should have lost that game to Wake Forest.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I might be taking Wake. I think they're going to be kind of pissed off.
I think this is going to be like a 3-point game. So I'm going to go with Wake Forest.
So you're going with Wake too?
No, I'm going to take Virginia Tech. Go with Sam. If Virginia Tech plays good, they'll be good. So,
like it. We're having some great analysis. If teams play good, they'll be good. You know who? Battle of 2 quarterbacks that I thought would be a lot better. One I still have faith in. The other one I don't because of coaching. You can guess who that is. Florida, 6.5-point underdog in the swamp against Texas. Sam is going with the Hook'em. I'm also going with Hook'em. This might be a sneaky big Arch says who I am. Like I'm here kind of game. Question for Luke, can he flex on a Florida defender if he trucks him?
Florida's not even ranked.
Florida has a good defense.
I actually think
Kamani McLean is a good corner.
I think Arch has like one more week before he performs well, and this one will be close again, and then it'll be like, oh, is Arch for real this week or not?
Okay, so I have Texas as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to Florida. It'll be close.
I'm going with Texas. I think the defense is really going to will turn up another level.
I really feel like this is going to be a 17-10 game. That is my gut. And that's a cover.
I said
that's a cut. Or
I was about to say 28-10.
Actually, I think this is how I think the actual game will go. It will be like 10-0, and Florida has nothing offensively, and the defense is like, "Come on, man, we're doing this again." And then the second half happens, and Texas just who's getting who's getting one of their better running backs back and Wisner back, and one of their better receivers back, who hasn't played this year. And I think the Florida defense is like, all right, we're just done. And they score they blow them out in the second half. And then on Sunday, Florida comes out and says, we have fired Billy Napier. That's actually how I think the game will go. But I didn't want to, that's too narrow of a path to actually put your money on. But that's,
you don't like him, do you?
Do I not like Billy Napier? Yeah. No, he ruined DJ Lagway, who's a really good quarterback.
I just want to make sure.
At least with Sark, Sark has enough track record where I feel like it's going to be fine with Arch, and Arch is also playing like a first-year starter would. And I also know Arch will be back, like have another year. It feels like somehow Lagway has looked worse. Like worse.
Every game you just look worse.
And may or may not have I have put my money on Florida a lot under Billy Napier, and they've disappointed me. It's kind of like how
that makes sense now.
It's kind of like how I'll bet against Iowa, and they'll like make a stupid play where they like get a pick six with a minute left, and they win in the most Iowa way fashion. But then I'll bet on Iowa, and then they'll just like lose because they're inept offensively.
They probably say, "Hey, Trey, bet money on us. Let's ruin it."
So I'm done with Billy Napier, man. Thank God. Ironically, if Florida didn't open up when the last coaching cycle, I think Virginia Tech would have. Granted, I think he would have done a better job at Virginia Tech than he did at Florida, because at least I think problem for Billy Napier is one, he was reluctant to give up play calling, and two, he has literally last 2 years the most ridiculous schedule in the history football created, because it's like you're playing two really good Miami teams, so the Cam Ward team and the Miami team this year. You play Florida State wasn't good last year, but a decent Florida State team this year, and then you have Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, every Ole Miss, you have every good team in the SEC too. So he was screwed. Whereas he was screwed from the start just based off the schedule.
I think Florida might have consistently the hardest schedule.
They have the hardest schedule in the country. I think they don't play the rest of the way they play currently ranked teams. So I know we're getting very off track, but yeah. So ready? You ready? This is Florida's schedule the rest of the way. Texas A&M, so 9-6. Then they play Mississippi State, improved football team. Georgia, Kentucky, that's probably the win. Then they finish with Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State. Good luck. All right, let's get back to picks. Speaking of Florida State takes on Miami. Florida, I had this wrong. Florida State is a 3-point underdog against Miami. So in this one, Sam is taking Miami to cover the 3.5. I will double check. I need to double check with him, but because I wrote it down wrong. So Florida State is a 3.5-point underdog. So, but I also am you know what? I'm going to take Florida State. I really have no feel for this game. I think this is either going to be a Florida State win or a Miami blowout. That's where I've kind of sat on. So I'll just lean Florida State for the fun of it.
I'm gonna go with Miami. I think it's gonna be a 3-touchdown game.
I think it'll be close. I'm gonna say Florida State. Florida State's mad from Virginia. Virginia took the candy.
All right. Diego Pavia is heading back to heading to Tuscaloosa, taking on Alabama. Bama 10.5-point favorites. I'm taking Alabama. I think they're gonna blow them out. I really do. I think after last year, Sam is taking Vanderbilt. Ty.
Vandy.
I'm also taking Vandy.
Okay, I'm the one about the time. Nobody gives up. No, I'm not gonna say that. All right, if you know, you know.
Is Vanderbilt undefeated too?
Yes.
The for real?
Yeah. Okay. Well, they've played a team that quit, a team that lost their quarterback in the first quarter, and then bad teams. So. Anyways, game you can hear tonight, 11 p.m. on VTRN Sports. West Virginia, 18.5-point underdogs at BYU. I don't know who's playing quarterback for West Virginia, so give me number 47. Tyler, is it? Yeah, I think it's Tiger Bachmeier. I think the quarterback's Tiger and the receiver's Lion. So, yeah, I have BYU in this one. Ty?
BYU.
Sam also has BYU. I already know I'm going to pick West Virginia, because 18.5 points is way too many, even for a team with no quarterback. Okay. All right. Moving to our NFL slate. We have the Commanders first. We're going to have that game as our third game of our quadruple header, 425. They're 2.5-point road underdogs in LA. There might be more Commanders fans than Chargers fans there. Maybe not. Chargers fans showed up the last time they were in LA. Sam is picking the Chargers. I really want to pick the Commanders, but anytime they've played a good team this year, they just have not shown it.
so I'm picking the Chargers. I think the Chargers have the better quarterback right now. At least Justin Herbert's playing better than Jaden Daniels. I'm very worried about the Chargers' offensive line. I don't know if Washington fully take advantage of it, but I think no Terry, a beat-up Debo, not a great offensive line against a good defensive line. I think the Chargers' defense wins the game for them, so I have the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers. They never perform against good teams. The Commanders don't.
Ty?
LA.
So we're clean sweep on the Chargers. All right, the first game of quadruple header is out in London. Vikings 3.5-point favorites against the Browns. Browns rolling out Dylan Gabriel. I'm going to warn you now, this is going to be an ugly game because we have Carson Wentz versus Dylan Gabriel. And honestly think the final score might be 9-6. So I'm taking the Browns, and I hate it with my body. Like, I hate it. I physically feel ill. But I really think that you're going to have Myles Garrett against a beat-up offensive line and a guy who loves to take a sack in Carson Wentz, who's going to fumble 100%. He's going to fumble the football off a Myles Garrett sack. So I have the Browns.
I'm going Vikings. Wentz is going to come through and beat up on a rookie who doesn't know what he's doing.
You've not watched enough Carson Wentz in my life.
I'm going to have to go with the Vikings because this. I just can't trust Dylan Gabriel.
This is a Browns kind of game.
I know. That's why I can't trust it.
And Sam's also going the Vikings. All right. Second game of our doubleheader. Eagles hosting the Broncos. 3.5-point favorites. Again, Philadelphia's made it look ugly this year, but Bo Nix against good teams. I fade that. Give me the Eagles. Sam also has the Eagles in this one.
I'm going Eagles. Eagles look really good right now.
I don't know about that. All right, all taking the Eagles. All right, quickly, Sunday Night Football. Sam's taking the Pats, 8-point favorites. I'm taking the Bills. I think I'm going to put up a statement on Sunday Night Football.
Too big of a line. Patriots keep it close.
And Josh Allen, I trust.
All right, so 2 on the Bills, 2 on the Pats. That will do it for our pick segment. Make sure you tune into all the games this weekend. If you need a reminder, VTR and Sports Facebook page will have graphics for you to remind you. Fun weekend of games ahead, and we appreciate your time this week. You know, we're enjoying our time together here, and yeah, Luke, any final thoughts? You ready for the weekend?
I think Drake May can actually hang with Josh Allen. I've decided.
Okay, that's a take.
That's a take, baby.
Stephon Diggs revenge game on Sunday Night Football, possibly.
Or crash out.
He might, but I do think this is an underrated good NFL slate. I feel like we need to apologize a little bit for the London game, but I think actually it might be a sneaky good game because just like it's going to be, I think, crazy as time goes on. So, but yeah, that will do it today for us here on the morning warm up. Yep. So thanks so much to Dalton. Thanks so much to you guys for listening all week. And we'll be back on Monday reacting to it all. Thanks so much for listening. Bye, everybody.